Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning in and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Jen and I love all things color. This is an exciting video because this is my very first holiday palette of 2023. And this is by Hourglass. This is everywhere because their holiday palettes are always like comes out with a bang and then people buy it. It's always been a success, right? So they released 3 palettes. If you've been living under a rock and if you do not know, they come out with 3 palettes but 4 designs. So if you see an owl palette, that's just a design. It doesn't come with any color, so you can pick a palette, meaning the powders, a preset palette of powders, and then you can pick the owl design. I'm not big on owls, but honestly a lot of people in the comment section were like obsessed with owls and like, I'm getting the owl palette. So anyways, I do not like snakes either, but this design doesn't exactly look like a snake, thankfully, because I'm not a fan of snakes. They're the way they slither about, nothing about it. And even the python pattern, I'm not a fan of the scaly things. Nothing, I'm not a fan of them at all. But this does not look like a snake at all, to be honest. It's not creepy. That yeah, that's the head. But anyways, just FYI, if you are a fellow snake disliker, if that's even a word, this doesn't even look like a snake, TBH. So this retail, they've increased the prices, and honestly in the comment section on Trendmood's page, everybody was like, I don't know which to get. I'm like in between, I'm like torn. But for me it was very easy to pick because wherever radiant light is at, that's where I'm at, because I go by the ambient lighting powder because that's key. That's what I'm after, to be honest. But since it comes in a palette, that's precisely why I'm buying it, for the ambient lighting powder. So my shade is Radiant Light. So the palette that comes with Radiant Light is my palette. So that's the snake palette. So this is the darkest palette. So this is Radiant Light. I know it looks lighter, but it's very sheer, so it doesn't leave a cast at all, I promise. So on my complexion, or even when I was like, I'm really tan, so it doesn't leave a cast. And I believe all of them are new shades except for Radiant Light. This whole palette is new shades, but I had a whole different kind of video in mind because I have this palette on the eyes, on the cheeks. I've had this makeup on for easily 9 hours now. I wanted to do this video in the morning, but I got called away on a very urgent errand that took up basically the whole day. So I'm already ready, and right now I'm not going to be actually demoing the product, but just showing you guys swatches and comparison, because I do have the Tiger palette, which actually this is their finishing powder, which is for richest of skin tones. So this finishing powder on me is darker, but still it doesn't look awkward or odd or anything like that. So just a comparison. Let's do comparison for Radiant Light, because that's what the ambient lighting powder. So this one is Radiant Light, and this guy is the very deep chocolate brown. Is the name for that finishing powder is, let me see, Transcendent Light. Transcendent Light is for the richest of skin tones. And yeah, I gotta say, if you have even my skin tones or richer, the Tiger palette was a jackpot, to be honest, because I don't think they have this in the full size at least yet. So let me first go ahead and swatch. And I also have the one before that, the year before that. This one has the Radiant Light in the larger size, and then they have like one bronzer, 2 blushes, and a highlighter. The highlighter on all palettes basically looks the same, so please do not complain about it, because there's no point, because Hourglass more like a minimalistic but perfect, amazing, beautiful skin. That's basically their concept, even if they don't spell it out for you. So their highlighter is going to be the same, to be honest. So let me quickly swatch. Enough talking. Oh, by the way, they have increased the prices. This was $90, and with tax it very dangerously went close to $100. I think it was 99 and some change, and I don't know if it goes beyond $100. I don't know if it's worth, because you'll see. I'll tell you why. Okay, let's do Radiant Light. That's the finishing powder, and as you can see, it's pretty light and kind of disappeared into the skin. And let me swatch the Radiant Light from the other unlocked, or what is it called, unlocked universal. I think both are exactly the same. The ambient lighting powders in both palettes have a little bit of shimmer, but the original one in the full size is barely any shimmer. So the ones in the palette does have shimmer. And so this is the Transcendent Light, the darker one from the Tiger palette. This is, look at how dark that is. And my hands are so tan. so tanned. So yeah, that's, like I said, like the richest of skin tones can use that as a finishing powder, or even as a bronzer. You can definitely use it, I think. So let's swatch like a darker berry shade, right? It's marble. It's like a marbleized thing, and this doesn't have any shimmer. So that is the dark berry shade from the brand new palette. Let's swatch. There is a dark berry shade from, there is no dark berry shade here in this palette. In the Tiger palette, there is no dark berry shade. There is this, which is the pink. If you want to look for pink in the Tiger palette, this is it. And on me, this is more like a highlighter, to be honest. Let me just swatch it for you. Look at that. I could kind of like use it as a blush, but it's gonna be a very light blush. Look at that. I might as well use it as a like a blush toned highlighter, you know, like blush and highlighter 2-in-1, but not like a flushed look that you see, not like that. So that's the, so there are no like berry tone shades in the Tiger palette at all. And the berry tone, there is a berry tone shade in here, which is the rich like purple berry shade. This is the unlocked one. Let me quickly swatch that for you. Yeah, that's much more blue toned, right? And this is more reddish. The one in the brand new palette is more reddish. And then let's see the highlighter, right? Let's see highlighter. Let's compare highlighters. Highlighter is that's the highlighter from the new one, brand new one. Let me swatch the highlighter from the Tiger palette. This is a snake, this is a tiger, and let's see comparison from the unlocked one. They're basically the same, not a big difference, and I'm not complaining because this is a minimalistic palette, like stunning airbrushed glow from within skin. It's not gonna like have all like a purple highlight, you know what I mean? So just FYI, and I don't think you should complain as well if you want to pick this palette. All right, next is this stunning terracotta, like a peach. Honestly, this is not a terracotta shade. This is like a dark peach color, right? So dark, look at that stunning rich peach color from the snake palette. So that's brand new. There are like peachy tones in the Tiger palette. There's this straight up orange shade, and then let me see, there's this orange shade, and then there's also this peachy shade, this one. So this is meant to be, I'm not sure which one is meant to be a blush or a highlighter, or if both are blush highlighters. So bottom two colors are from Tiger. does it even matter which one is which? But the bottom two is from the Tiger palette, top is from the Snake palette. They kind of are gonna look the same on the skin, just FYI. And from the Unlocked palette, there is nothing peachy at all. Everything is like a blue toned pink and a blue toned berry shade, just FYI. And then what's next? Oh, there is another watermelony red, a pinky red shade. Honestly, these two are so similar on the skin, because this is like a reddish berry and this is like reddish pinky shade, like a warm pink, like so warm, right? Let's see if I'm gonna swatch that here. This itself looks like a this is more, it's not terracotta, I guess. It's definitely like a warm pink. There is the only pink is this, which we swatched, which is like a very silvery pink, right? That is it. That's the one, silvery pink. So it's not a lot of these reddish berry pinks. So let me swatch it anyways. Very different. So this is the Snake and that's the Tiger last year. And there is a blue toned pink there, in from the Unlocked or Universal Unlocked. I think maybe I'm saying their name wrong. I'm not even sure what that is called. This is such a beautiful pink color, but I have to say it doesn't like pack a pop. I mean, you could build it up, but over time during the day it's gonna fade into like, it's not gonna like stand out like this, the shades. So, oh, by the way, the shade that I'm referring to on my cheeks over and over again is completely from the Snake palette. Everything on the face is from Snake palette. So yeah, and then finally is the bronzer. Let's see the bronzer. Hang on, I gotta clean my finger because I don't want these tones to mix. Oh my gosh, these powders feel like a pillow. Like, it's not squishy, but as I'm swatching, they are so incredibly soft, and I'm addicted to just like swirl my finger in them because they are so incredibly soft and almost squishy. It's like pillowy. So that's the bronzer. I love to use this all over the lid. It gives you the most stunning, bronzy, silky looking eyelid, and the skin on the eyelid looks so stunning. So here. And bronze is, I believe this is the bronzer, I'm not sure, but on my skin I could use this as a highlighter. I'm not sure what that is, but it has bronze tones. So this is the Tiger palette, and that is the Snake palette, the brand new one. And then there is a bronzer here in the, what is this Unlocked thing, Universal Unlocked. It's not as dark as the bronzer in the Snake palette, I have to say. So Snake palette and Tiger, and then there's the one before. So that is it, my friends. I think this was a very comprehensive comparison to give an idea of what there is. If you have any of these previous palettes, an idea of how the brand new shades differ from the shades, the previous two palettes. Do I regret buying this palette? Actually no, because I have used these palettes like crazy. Both palettes non-stop, crazy on the eyes, on the cheek. Like, this is an all over the face palette. Do not just regard this as a cheek palette. Use this on the eyes, and this is what I have on my eyes today. Look at how silky my brow bone highlight is. It's so silky, and my inner corner highlight is like, it's like I have like a personal flashlight on the inner corner of my eyes, and my whole eyes and the skin is so bright and so beautiful. I absolutely love it. The blushes are pretty intense, and I have to say, one on my cheek is this guy. I know I went for the darker shade, but still, it's I put this makeup on at 9, and this is like close to 8 o'clock in the night time. So and I can still see the blush. And on my eyes, I actually have this guy. I actually had my official picture taken for my ID today at work, and I wanted some kind of a color and flush on my skin, on my eyes, my cheeks, but I didn't want it to be crazy. So I quickly put this on because such a beautiful dark peach color. And then I used the bronzer as a transition shade all over the lid, and then I went over with this guy. And then my inner corner highlight is the highlighter, which is this, and then my brow bone highlighter is also the highlighter, which is this. And then I use this guy as the reddish berry as my blush, and then the highlighter as my highlighter. And I have not touched up at all. In fact, I've like blotted the oil throughout the day, and you can still see the highlighter still there, and the blush also still there. And of course, I use the ambient lighting powder in the shade Radiant Light all over the face. So yeah, all in all, I'm not mad at the palette. I think I will buy more. If they increase the price, I'm not gonna buy, to be honest. Just to be honest, as long as I still have palettes left, if they increase more, if there's a more price increase, I'm not gonna buy it, because $100 when I already have these powders. And I have to say, these shades, they more or less, once you blend it out and set it with powder, and as the day progresses, they're not gonna make a big difference on the skin. So you need a one or two, a pinky tone shade, and then they're like a peachy tone shade to create that flushed look. You don't need more than that. And then they provide those options more or less in every palette, so you don't really need all of them. You most certainly do not need more than one palette. I know in the online people saying, I need all of them, they are so pretty, I need all of them. You do not need all of them, for sure. Absolutely, just get the one that has your shade of ambient lighting powder, because that is gonna make all the difference in the world on the skin, and it's gonna give you the most beautiful airbrushed look in person and in photographs, everything. So look for the palette that has your shade of ambient lighting powder. That's the key decision maker at the end of the day. So yep, I'll get out of here very soon. I'll say goodbye. I really hope this video was helpful in making a decision, and come say hi to me if this is your first time here, and I will see you guys very soon. Bye.